I'm Michelle from Legal Suite, and in this webinar, we are going to discuss the Matter transaction screen. Now, this screen will only be of any use to you if your firm is also using our Legal Suite accounting, and it is a very, very important screen because it is your little glimpse from desktop as to what is happening in the world of accounting for this specific matter. So you can see all the fees, all the debits, all the credits, whether money is sitting in batches, whether there's an investment, whether funds have been reserved, and so on and so forth. So it is also the screen that you would need to access and print out when sending your file for archiving to check that there is a nil balance on the file and that all fees have been passed. Okay, so for the purposes of this, I'm going to use a matter that I've already created and that I've been working on. So please do have a look at our various webinars on capturing parties, matters, feeing, and so on. Okay, so your matter transactions icon is the sixth icon along from the left, second row of icons. Alternatively, you can press your F5 key on your keyboard to access it. So in we come, and from this you can get a pretty good idea of what is going on in terms of fees and disbursements on this particular matter. Now, at a glance, you will notice that the very first thing we see is that actual has been activated. So this is the actual physical situation in bookkeeping with regards to the fees. Now, if we have a look at our various little items here, we'll see that we have actual fee debits or an outstanding amount currently of R7,762.50. And that is made up in the screen below of the debits and of the credits. Okay, so this is real lifetime fees. This is what has been invoiced to the client. These are the payments that the client has made. Now, if we have a look at reserved and investments, you will notice we have nothing reserved and nothing in an investment. Say, for example, we had called for an amount of 20,000 Rand in this particular matter because we knew we were going to have to brief counsel. We would have taken that money from trust and put it into reserved account. So that way, when fees are written, that particular amount would be set aside and not offset by fees. So clicking on the reserved option, we have nothing sitting in reserve. Similarly, we have nothing sitting in an investment. This, usually in a conveyancing matter, buyer pays a deposit, it comes into trust, and then is immediately paid out to the investment portion. That is not the case here. Under the transfer, this will show us whether we have a trust to business transfer that is required, and this is, of course, attended to by your bookkeeping people. Now, in terms of fees, if we click on the all excluding unposted, this will pretty much give us the actual situation in bookkeeping. So this will show us all fees that have been posted and processed in accounting. These are fees that have been actually billed to the client by means of a tax invoice. If we look at the option of all including unposted, this will show us all of our fees, including whatever is sitting in a batch and whatever is sitting on the fee note screen as unposted work in progress. So if we scroll down, the black entries will show us our actual fees and payments made. The green items, as we can see by the little key, is sitting in a batch, and that is the total here in the batched field. And the orange fees are sitting as uncaptured, or sorry, not uncaptured, but unposted work in progress on your fee note screen. Okay, so as soon as those orange fees are posted, they will become green, and as soon as the batch is captured, the green fees will become black and will then appear in the actual field. So if we click on batches, we will see that these are the items that are sitting in a batch in bookkeeping. They've been posted from the desktop. They are sitting waiting to be processed in the bookkeeping side. Now, fee notes. This is our work in progress. These are the items that are sitting on the fee notes screen unposted as yet. Now, as soon as these are posted, they will then go into a batch, and as soon as the batch is posted, they will become actual fees. History. This little screen is usually used for clients where we have converted data, and this will simply show the history of the matter. But matters that are run in Legal Suite, you can use your actual selection here to show what is happening in the matter. Now, these little icons over here, this is the invoices for the matter. By clicking on this, you will see any invoices that are being sent out to the client. Now, in this particular example, I've not sent any invoices from the bookkeeping system, but they would be listed and you would then be able to view each invoice that has been sent out. This little icon is the filter icon. By attending various criteria or setting various criteria, you can have various outcomes. For example, I would like to see the totals for this month only. I make my selection, I click on OK, and the program will effectively filter to show me only transactions for my selected date range. Okay, let's just take that off. And then finally, we have the little printer icon. Now, this, as I said, is very important. When you send your matter off for dead filing, all the fields must reflect 0. All the fields across the top and fields at the bottom. That way you know that all money that has come in has been dealt with and all receipts have been made and there is no outstanding or owing balance on the matter. So in order to print, we can click on our little printer icon, and we have multiple ways of printing. We can either print to a spreadsheet. So if we click on that, it will deposit the information into Excel for us. Okay, let's just wait for that to open. Right, there's our little Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so as you can see, it gives our debits, our credits, our running balances, our periods, our batches, and so on and so forth, and then sets our totals at the bottom. And we can immediately see that this cannot be archived because it has outstanding balances on it. Our other options in terms of display would be to the screen. So this just provides a bit of a different layout. I personally prefer this layout. I find it easier to read, and this can also be printed from the little printer icon at the top. Again, it shows the debits, the credits, who created it, reference, batch numbers, and periods with our grand totals at the bottom. Your other option here would be to send this directly to your printer by simply clicking on the printer icon, but I would strongly recommend looking at it before sending it to print. So just to recap, this will give you the full financial history of your matter from the Legal Suite bookkeeping side of the program.